Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
49ers win, baby! In a weird, probably not the way we all thought it would be, but they come out on top. That's the number one thing. The 49ers won today, 22-16. A lot slower, not near as fast-paced offensively. We spent the last 2 weeks, let's just be very, very honest and very, very frank. The entire NFL world, fantasy football, 49ers, NFL, doesn't matter. Everybody kept saying the same thing. The 49ers offense is just so good. It's so amazing. How do you stop all these different things going on and all these playmakers? Well, that wasn't the story of the day. The story of the day, 1,000%, was the 49ers defense that just came out and played incredible. Now, the first drive was bad. 2 blown coverages, whatever else. Penalties, bad. I get that. The 49ers defense won this game, no doubt. Now, was the offense good? Sure. Jimmy G, I think, played great, not good. This is going to be one of the best games of Jimmy Garoppolo's career. I think it goes in the top 5 for sure. The stats going to tell that story? I don't think so. But the way that he continually delivered on third downs, which I want to contribute a lot of extra time to that, but I want to focus on the defense, okay? The defense was nuts. You go out there, you get burned on the opening drive. They just march straight down the field. What were my defensive keys to the game? Don't let Herbert beat you deep, which they did on that first drive, but never again. And keep Eckler in front. Let him check down. Let him run the ball. Let him get his stuff. Don't let him break those big plays. Just keep them underneath, right? They did those things. Now, Aiyuk goes out there and fumbles the ball, all right? Should have been a penalty. If the Greenlaw penalty, I don't want to get into the refs too much. If the Greenlaw hit was a penalty, then the Derwin James on Aiyuk, it was worse. It was worse. It was worse. But whatever. We fumble the ball. Defense holds them to 3 points. That was huge. Then special teams, we'll spend some time there. Special teams gets a block kick. Mitch Wisnowski spinning the ball, like catches the ball, spins it, delays his step, finally punts it, but delays the whole thing, gets it blocked. Guess what? Defense held him to 3 points on that one. So if you take out the entire, 3 points by special teams, 3 points by Brandon Aiyuk, the first drive, 7 points. Outside of that, 49ers gave up 1 field goal. That was it. So 10 points were scored on the 49ers defense, which is championship level defense against Justin Herbert. I know they didn't have the wide receivers. I get that. But they played their freaking rear ends off. You held them to 6 for 16 on third downs. That's incredible. That's incredible. And again, what has been, I was trying to keep track. I might have missed a little bit at the end. They only converted 6. These are the third downs that the Chargers offense was able to convert. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 1. Our Achilles heel on defense has been getting off the field on 3rd and long. Well, they solved that. You got the 3rd and 9, which was, it was a Herbert scramble, I think, on that one. And yeah, John, this game was harder than it should have been. You are correct, my friend. 49ers were in control of this game and should have been up by a lot more points. But here's the difference. The 49ers all year have not really been – we were the heartbreak kids for 3 years straight, right? 2019, 2020, 2021, where every single game was down to the wire, down to the wire, down to the wire, right? We haven't had that at all this year. Even if you just look at, okay, we beat the Rams by 17. We lost by 21 to the Chiefs. We lost by 14 to the Cardinals. We beat the Panthers by 22. We beat the Rams by 15. Like, that's the last 5 games. Not even a possession game in there, right? And this game, whenever I think it's all said and done or whatever, you win by 6. It's within a touchdown. 49ers didn't cover the spread. Oh, what's up, Juan? He says best team in California. Oh, well said. You sweep the Rams and then you beat the Chargers. Freaking love it. He says, let's do a giveaway. Natalie says hi. What's up, Natalie? Juan Salas. Natalie, if you're watching, I've got your bracelets right here on my little Armenian trinket from whenever I used to teach. Just want to say thank you. She's incredible. Juan Salas' daughter's amazing. Anyway, having said that, yeah, let's do a giveaway. Let's do this in the chat, Clayton. You get a free 49ers Rush t-shirt, which if you're watching this on YouTube, if you look below the description, you can see the stuff that we sell, some shirts and stuff. We've got that there. So let's do this. Somebody, the very first person that can tweet, or sorry, not tweet, but put this in the chat. How many tackles for loss did Nick Bosa have? The first one that shows up in our feed, they go in different orders in everybody's feed. So whichever one Clayton is on, Clayton, the man behind the scenes. How many tackle for losses did Nick Bosa have in this game? The first one that throws that up in the chat, highlight that, and we will make sure to get them a giveaway. Compliments to the great Juan Salas. I freaking love it, man. This game, it wasn't what we wanted. Right? We wanted electrifying. We wanted, Apollo Creed. We wanted the entertainment of electrifying. That's not what you but I think everybody's got to be pleased with the results. You got the win. And it was by defense. Clayton, do we have a winner? Will you throw them up there? The first one that said 3 was the correct answer. I love all the answers. I'm seeing all the answers there. 3 was the correct answer. Let's see here. Man, I love everybody in the chat jumping in there, which is awesome. Again, it's the first one. It's Johnny. I'm not giving Johnny a t-shirt. I love you, Johnny. Actually, I will give Johnny a t-shirt, but I will do an extra t-shirt for Johnny. I'm going to give JD a t-shirt. That's the Juan t-shirt. Johnny Dale's Football Academy. Let me just real quick, let me just say this. The best YouTube channel out there. I believe that. He does something very different than me. He goes much more detail than me. So if you're watching this, make sure you take time, go subscribe to Johnny Dale. If you want to learn football and film, that there's not a better place to go than there. I consider him a friend and a great dude anyway. So go check out his channel. He does a hell of a job. Chris, he says, the refs are killing me. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. No pass interference on Brandon Aiyuk. Dre should not have been flagged for the let's talk about penalties, okay? Because a lot of the penalties were deserved. A lot of them were not. 7 penalties were called on the 49ers. Now, not all of those were accepted, but that's how many were called. So let's see here. Let's go through these. They only accepted 5. McGlinchey got a hold on 3rd down. That was huge. Real quick, Mike McGlinchey, terrible, awful. 3rd and 2 at the goal line. You score a touchdown, you win the game. Didn't even touch his defender that made the tackle for loss. He may have touched him, actually. I'll take that away. But anyway, hold on McGlinchey on 3rd down. Delay a game on Jimmy Garoppolo. You had Diamador Lenore that had a pass interference. That was a good call. He was grabbing after 5 yards as well. That was huge. The hit by Drake Greenlaw, ejected. Terrible call. Horrible call. Asinine call. It was bad. Now, maybe you want to call it a penalty. I have no problem with that. Ejection? Hell no. And what a difference Aziz makes, right? Aziz comes in, Greenlaw gets ejected, and he plays great. Then you got Oren Burke stepping in as the 3rd linebacker. He played awesome. Also played great on special teams. Omenihu lined up in the neutral zone. That was a good call. Jake Brindle hold in the 4th. That was a good call. Then Jake Brindle was an ineligible downfield. Dude went and ran a route. Like, good call. It was film's going to be pretty fun on that one. Yeah, Shannon Sharp tweeted 69 is terrible, and he is correct. And I know John Lynch doubled down about how great he is and all that stuff. I counted 5 terrible plays. Now, maybe he had 40 great plays. I didn't see that many great plays. I saw some. But again, I like Mike McGlinchey. I really, really do as a person, as a broadcast. I like him, but he's bad. So those are the penalties that were all called. Okay. Then the no face mask on Debo, that was absurd. The no head-to-head on Aiyuk, that was crazy. The pass interference on Aiyuk, but he caught it, so it didn't really matter. And then the no false start on their right tackle, the whole first quarter. That was getting a head start to get out on Bosa. I don't mind if it's a heavy penalty game on both sides. You have to call it both ways, or you don't call it both ways. But when the freaking Chargers got one penalty for 5 yards, that's it. That's it. Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. I can't stand it. Gets me mad there. Gets me mad. But hey, if you play the game in a way that you allow the refs to have a determining factor, that's your fault. 49ers allowed a lesser team to stick around. I don't think that's the narrative I want to run away from this game with, but they did. You allowed a lesser team to not only stick around, to lead into the fourth quarter. 49ers got the first lead like well into the fourth. And you gave the refs a chance to play a hand in it. Aaron, thank you so much for the gift in the super chat. Thank you so much. Great win to keep up ground on the Seahawks. And how about some pass interference or PA passes when the defense loads up to stop the run? Yeah, not a lot of play action. I thought that was weird. But again, I don't know. It seemed like Shanahan kind of realized he didn't have to like have all these big pass plays. It just dink and dunk it with Jimmy. It worked perfectly. But yeah, I feel like there were some big plays left out there, but that's okay. And you know, I'll say this, Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's talk about Jimmy. I was so impressed with Jimmy Garoppolo. At halftime, I tweeted out, I hate that the 49ers are down and Jimmy G hasn't had a big mistake yet. Like, I was like, I hate that we're losing and it's not because of Jimmy. Because I understand that. I get that. That's who Jimmy is. Jimmy was freaking lights out. Did he throw a touchdown pass? No. Don't care. 19 of 28. All right. Not great. 240 yards. Not great. 1 sack. He had a 94.3 passer rating. Efficient. But what he did on third downs, was unfreaking believable. I just, again, okay, so I did the same thing for the 49ers offense like I did for the Chargers offense. So overall, just on third downs, 49ers go 9 of 17. Okay. Listen to the conversions that we got on third downs. 3rd and 7 converted. 3rd and 1. That's quarterback sneak. 3rd and 6, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. That's pretty damn good. That's really damn good. Jimmy Garoppolo, I thought he was great. I really, really did. And what have I always said about Jimmy? For those of you that have been with us for a minute, I've said there's a few things that Jimmy Garoppolo will not do. He won't check it down to the back in the flats. Started doing that when we got Christian McCaffrey. Even did it to Elijah Mitchell, which was great. And doesn't throw the ball away. He had 2 intentional throwaways. And I was freaking ecstatic. Like, usually you get excited for like touchdowns and big hits and things like that. I get excited for a Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball away intentionally. He had one through the back of the end zone. McGlinchey got beat. And then he had another one where he checked it down and threw it at the feet of somebody when McGlinchey got beat again. I love that. And I get that people want this high-powered, amazing offense that's just unbelievable. But if you can just limit mistakes with this defense, it's a winning recipe for winning games. And if Jimmy can check down to the flats, to the running backs, and throw the ball away instead of taking those huge sacks and doesn't put the ball in jeopardy, was there one pass that was close to being turned over this game from Jimmy Garoppolo? I understand the Brandon Aiyuk fumble. I get that. I don't recall one. The film will tell the story. And for those of you that are just joining us or maybe haven't subscribed yet, just want to throw this up there, Patreon real quick. We go through every single offensive play, defensive play, special team snap, all 22 coaches tape where I show you every single play every week. We have it for 2.5 years worth of content. So if you want to go back and watch those, as soon as you sign up, you get it all. All you got to do is head to patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast, or just Google 49ers Patreon. We're the first one that showed up. 400 Patreon subscribers. If you sign up and you don't like it, then guess what? We will give you your money back. No questions asked. It's just yours. Come support the show. And also, I want to get to this comment by John Leite in a second. Right after we finish our live show here, we are going live on Zoom, where we get to hear from you. And so as soon as this live show's over, I got like 5 minutes to paste, to put the audio content out there. I convert it and put that up there, and then we'll go live on Zoom. So my Patreon follows. I know it's late. It's actually not that late. The game ended pretty early. So join us over there. I want to hear from you guys after this show ends. John, thank you again for the gift. Super chat, awesome. He says, does the slow play style worry you going forward? Seem to struggle against teams that can put up points quickly. Yeah, it's an issue with some teams. Here's the good news. There's not one of those teams in the NFC. There's not one. There's not one. I am not concerned about the Vikings, who had probably the game of the day. Josh Allen gave them basically 4 turnovers to get them back in the game. But if you're playing the Chiefs, we're a bad matchup. I'm just going to be really, really honest with you. You're playing the Bills. That's a bad matchup. Maybe the Dolphins are a bad matchup too, which they're on our schedule. But again, how do you build your team? Win your division, which you're 3-0 in. Seahawks lost today, so now you've gained ground on them. You're behind them a half a game, and you still get to play them later on in this year. The Rams lost. They're done. DUN, done. They're over. You get to play the Cards next week in Mexico, baby. Speaking of which, we're going to it. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. I'm flying out Friday. We've got parties all freaking week, which is awesome. The day before the game, we're going to be at Kingpin Social, which is going to be absolutely incredible. We're going to be there from 12 to 4, so come check that out. And then the day of the game, Monday, which also, real quick, the U.S. World Cup game's on during that time. And so we're going to be in Mexico watching that. We got big screens. So we're going to have the World Cup game on. Going to be an absolute awesome party. And then the day of, we have invested so much time and money into this. Charter buses taking us from our hotel, the Marriott Reforma, to our party at Lomas Plaza. Drinks, food, charter buses included, giveaways, trivia, raffles, DJ, all that kind of stuff. Then chartered buses taking us to the game and then back to the hotel afterwards. So you don't have to pay for parking. We got you. Drink what you want. Have a good time. We got you. We're going to party. We're going to be safe. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. So back to that question, John, which, another thought that comes to my mind is you have to play your way. Okay. Don't be who you're not. Whether it was my teaching or coaching days, whenever I met with my coaches or hired my coaches, I would ask them, what's your personality as a coach? If they've coached before, that was the first question. And they'd be like, what do you mean? Like, are you a disciplinarian? Are you like laid back and chill? Are you a barker? Are you like a crazy energy guy? Like, who are you? And I would always say, be that all the time. Don't be somebody you're not. Who are the 49ers? You are a run heavy, yards after the catch offense with a great defense. Like, that's the way you built this team. So stay with that. And let me just say this. One of my favorite things about this game, one of my favorite takeaways, was the 49ers were down in the second half, third quarter. 49ers were down in the fourth quarter. And guess what? Kyle Shanahan kept running the damn ball. We have seen him give up on the run whenever he's only down by less than one possession, and he just completely escapes the running game. We didn't see that at all. How many rush attempts did we get? Woo, look at this. 41 rushing attempts. I freaking love every second of that, man. Like, if you run the ball that much, you're going to win. And you did. You have 41 rush attempts. You averaged 3.8 yards per rush, but it was just enough. I mean, you had 157 yards rushing, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty damn incredible. AMOs, Automotive Paint and Restoration. Thank you for the gift. Says, I was so annoyed on 3rd and short, and we're running out of shotgun multiple times. I don't like that either. I don't like running out of shotgun in short situations. Not near as much. You just lose so much momentum because the ball carrier either has to step to the side. Whenever you're in I formation under center, you're just going. But I didn't like it either. And I wish they could have capitalized. You had 5 trips in the red zone for the 49ers offense. Got 2 touchdowns. That's bad. Now, one of those was a Brandon Aiyuk drop. Let's talk about Brandon Aiyuk. Actually, hold Brandon Aiyuk. Let's talk about Corey Patterson. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the super chat. Why does it seem like all our kicks, punts are nearly blocked? We aren't even close to blocking it. You're right. And again, if you watch, we do every single special teams play all year. And you hear me hooting and hollering over there because it's terrible. both Robbie Gould and Mitch Wisnowski have a delay to their approach. Both of them do. And it bothers the hell out of me. And that's why we got the kick block. We got the kick block today because Mitch Wisnowski caught the ball, spun the ball, then went into his approach. Also, Oren Burks got pushed back pretty bad on that one. But that was all on Mitch. It was all on Mitch. Okay. Got a missed kick by Robbie Gould, but Tabor Pepper had not one, but 2 bad snaps on field goals and extra points today. Can't do that. But Mitch did deliver when it mattered. That punt inside the 1 was awesome. And I was watching the replay, and Samuel Womack, who did a hell of a job, got down there, fielded it, and then rocked back. But before he rocked back, both the line judges on both sides, they showed the sideline angle. Both of them waved the ball dead on both sides way before he stepped in. And that's a wonderful thing because, again, you're doing the receiving team a favor as an official by blowing the ball dead early because it gives them an extra second or two. Usually, once you establish possession as a punt returner or punt defender, as soon as you establish possession and your feet are set, it's done. It's 1 count. So I don't know about that. Officiating just mess, and the people in the booth are a mess. Whatever. Collinsworth's such a joke. Chris, will Colton ever overtake Mike McGlinchey? I'm hoping. I've been saying it for months that I want them rotating series because Colton McKivitz might be the right tackle of the future. When you trade it for Christian McCaffrey and that $12 million that he gets next year, maybe even probably going to be less. They'll extend Christian McCaffrey and, with the signing bonus and all that stuff. But when you traded for Christian McCaffrey, $12 million got to go off the books. That's Mike McGlinchey. I don't think they're going to bring him back. And so I want them to rotate. I want, very similar to what they're doing Daniel Brunskill and Spencer Burford at the right guard spot, I want to do the exact same thing with Colton McKivitz. Because, again, I want to tell you right now, Mike McGlinchey's bad. He's not bad. He's not bad. He's, again, let me just do my little line on Mike McGlinchey. He's an above average right tackle with consistency issues. This was a bad game. I think that's important. Jeremy, thank you so much. He says, we need to try to do play-by-play for the games again like you did a few years ago. Can't stand listening to these guys tonight. Thank you, Jeremy. I did get a cease and desist letter from the NFL, so that was fun when I was doing that. So, yeah, it was kind of cool. I should have, I wanted to, tweet it out and stuff, and I was like, I might want to just stop. But, yeah, they came after me. I know other people have done it, and I want to do it. The road games I can't because we're throwing the parties with all the road trips. But yeah, I want to. Just kind of scared to. I don't want to lose my podcast, my channel and stuff. But yeah, I would like to. From Samra, thank you so much. He says, John, ugly win, but they have to be better to go far. Agree? I do agree. Well, I don't know, man. The NFC is trash. I mean, it's god awful bad. It's so freaking bad. If we just look at the standings, okay, let's spend a little time and let's talk about this. You've got Seahawks 6-4. You've got 49ers 5-4. Cardinals 4-6. Rams 3-6. But outside of that, who scares you? The Eagles for sure. Giants don't. They're 7-2. Not scared. Cowboys 6-3. Sorry, not really. No. It just lost to the freaking 4-6 Packers. Vikings 8-1. That's not a good matchup for them. Them against us is a bad matchup. Can they beat us? Yes. I would love if you could tell me right now that you're playing against the Vikings in the playoffs. I'm sitting there saying, awesome. That's a win. That's a win. Who are you afraid of? Probably don't want to play the Eagles. I don't want to play the Bucs because I think that is a matchup issue. But you got to get in. And guess what? The 49ers are built for playoff football. That's why we were the 7th seed, and we went all the way to the NFC Championship last year. The fact that we've got 4 playoff wins in 3 years is bananas. Ask the Cowboys last time they had 4 playoff. My children were not born. I'm just saying. Now, John, he says, we won't face the NFC in the Super Bowl. You're exactly correct. Nothing you can do about that. And, who's going to be the representative? The AFC is deep. It is deep. It is very, very good. I think there's probably the 4 best teams in the NFL, I think, are all in the AFC, and I put the Bills in that. I know that they lost today, but I don't want to play a lot of those teams. But you got to beat the best. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So, yeah, do they got to get better? Sure. 49ers can play with anybody. Even the Chiefs. They did until Drake Greenlaw went out. Then things changed, and I think that's important. Yeah, Paul, he says, no chance I could sleep after that. It's 4:46 across the pod. Paul, you're the best. This is how crazy. I was drinking coffee still. I got my Fred Warner mug. I was drinking coffee still like a madman until like 20 minutes ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like almost 9:00, but we ain't stopping here, baby. We're going to keep going with this show. So get your questions in. Clayton's going to throw them up. Then we got our Zoom hangout after this. Remember, we got our Zoom hangout, but I got to brag a little bit. Sorry. You guys know I brag. It's part of it. Holy cow. I hope you bet with us on MyBookie. I really hope you do.
You know sports and you pick winners all the time, so why not get paid for them at MyBookie? MyBookie has the biggest online selection of odds, contests for all your sporting and betting needs anytime, anywhere. You can bet on NFL, NCAA, or, this is pretty fun, I love this, you can bet for the fences buy on the all-new money bag. So what happens is it's a one-of-a-kind type of opportunity. You just place your bet, spin the wheel, and you get ready to score epic odds on teams, athletes, events, all those things. It just increases those. So it's like a bonus spin to give you even better payouts and better odds, better chances to win. All you got to do is sign up for free today. Use promo code 49ERS or scan the QR code next to me, and you can claim a deposit match of any amount up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code 49ERS to claim your deposit bonus. It's not just a sports book. It's a community. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
All right, listen to these bets, which we put our bets up on Patreon every single week. Every single week. Listen to our teaser bets. Seahawks plus 9.5. Covered. Got close, but we got paid there. We took the, 49ers plus 0. Guess what? Covered. If we bet the spread, we would have lost. I told you not to bet the spread. I said I didn't like it. I told you not to. If you bet with us, you made money there. We took the Steelers plus 8. Covered. We took the Chiefs minus 2.5, paid. We took CMC to have a longer reception than 14.5 yards, paid. Jimmy Garoppolo under 30.5 pass attempts, paid. I'm just telling you, 49ers score on the first drive. Y'all hated going for it. Y'all hated that field goal. We got paid. The only thing that we missed, and it was a $2 bet, and I said this is a long shot, was for Kittle to have the most receiving yards. Way off on that. Dude had 2 targets. So we missed on a $2 bet, but we got paid out on all those other ones. We have posted positive weeks, 4 weeks in a row. We are up big time on the year. I'm telling you, if we made you money, join our Patreon, help us out, support the show, but bet with us. And I don't even bet a lot of money, but it makes it more entertaining. Now, if you have betting issues, stay away. Don't do that. It's supposed to increase the fan experience, which is what we're about here. But we nailed our bets this weekend, so we'll put them up every single time. Melissa, I want to say what's up. It's always fun to celebrate after a win. And whenever I post these, it's always like, ooh, is this going to be a therapy session? And this one felt like, oh, gosh, man, this is going to be a rough show at the end of it. But the 49ers pulled it out. You got to win. And again, as I said earlier, kind of the closest nail-biter victory the 49ers have had all year, which is crazy. It was 6 points. Brandon Aiyuk. I want to talk about Brandon Aiyuk because I thought he left a lot out there. The reason why this game was close was Brandon Aiyuk. He gave him 3 points on the fumble. Should have been a penalty, whatever. Still got to hold the ball. And then he took 4 points off the board whenever he dropped the touchdown from Jimmy Garoppolo. Dropped it. Was it a perfect pass? No, but it hit him literally in the palm of his hands. But outside of that, now let's turn that on its head. Targeted 7 times, 6 catches, 84 yards. Led the team in targets, led the team in receptions, led the team in yards receiving. That's incredible. Just had that one drop and that one fumble. And, if you look at, he's getting one-on-one coverage because of Debo, because of Kittle, because of CMC. No team is coming out there saying we got to double Aiyuk. And so if he wants to be the number 1 wide receiver and be paid like one, he's got to elevate his play and stop those negatives. But he's been great. I'm not trying to, go after BA at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I expect BA I see him as a top 12 wide receiver in the league. That's how I see him. I don't think today he showed that, because in the big moments, it was first play of the drive. Jimmy Garoppolo hits him wide open over the middle. Great route, great catch, and then the fumble. You cannot have a one-play turnover drive. That is a killer. The fact that the 49ers defense held him 3 points there, that's just a miracle. But golly, that defense. Whew. So can we talk about my boy Talanoa? Can we talk about him? Because, again, up and down game. Okay? First drive, the touchdown play, that was on Talanoa and Tayshaun Gibson. It ran a post corner, okay? And we'll go through the film on this on Patreon for sure. So basically what happens is this. We were in a cover 2 or cover 3. I couldn't see the other side of the field, but it doesn't matter. It looked like Talanoa had outside left third, and Tayshaun Gibson was in the middle. So the wide receiver ran a post. Sorry, it's mirrored on my screen. A post towards Tayshaun Gibson. And you see Talanoa point him out, saying, hey, come get him. He's coming to your zone. But as he ran that post, then he flattened out back to the corner where Talanoa should have been and was late. Okay, so should he have had help? Yes, Talanoa missed that one. But he showed up. In the second half, he had 2 huge stops on third downs. One was a Jimmy Ward miss, and he showed up and saved the day. And, of course, the interception. Dude's got 4 interceptions. Dude's got 4 interceptions on the year. Do you know how many interceptions the 49ers had all of the season last year? The entire defense. They had 9. Talanoa's at the halfway point of the season, and he's on pace to beat the entire defense last year. Playmaking safeties we have not had in a very freaking long time. In a very long time. Absolutely incredible. Johnny said, agreed. Looked like Tampa. That's what I was thinking too. But again, I couldn't see the backside, and the broadcast view never showed it, so I couldn't tell if it was 2 or 3. But definitely, Huff was on the side. It could have been a cover 6 too. I don't know. So, but anyway, we'll get to see it. But yeah, it was wrong. But the fact that I want people that show up when the game matters. Freaking Nick Bosa. Look at Nick Bosa. Good gosh. Yeah. He had 4 solo tackles, 1 sack. I think he got 1.5 sack, but they might have taken it away from him because I think Jordan Willis got the full sack. Seemed like they halved it, but that's okay. And if that's the case, that gives him, he's up to 9.5 sacks on the year, which, golly, man, that's so freaking good. But yeah, I don't know if they gave it to him or not. But so he had that, plus 3 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback hits. Bosa was all over the place, chipped, tight ends to his side the whole time, all those different things going on. It just, man, freaking just played like a man. He played like a man. I thought he was really good. Fred Warner, incredible, just lighting people up all over the freaking place. Man, Drake Greenlaw led the team in tackles, and he got ejected in the second quarter. Drake Greenlaw led the team in tackles, and he got ejected in the second quarter. He led the team in solo tackles, combined tackles. He was all over the place. And I thought he handled himself well whenever he got ejected. I don't know if you saw, he put out on Instagram, free Dre, hashtag free Dre, which is like, that's the way you should handle it. And I thought that he did a good job. He's going to get hit in the pocket big time. Lee's going to come down on him. Can't hit quarterbacks. You can hit wide receivers. Can't hit quarterbacks. That's just the rule. But I thought Dre played well. I thought Aziz played well. 3 tackles, 1 solo stop, but it was a huge solo stop on third down. Really thought that was really, really good. Fred Warner had 2 passes defensed. Both took place in the second half, which was nice. Jordan Willis, good gosh, steps in, got a sack, got a tackle for loss, got 2 quarterback hits. There's just so much about this game defensively that I love. I do not like that George Kittle only got 1 target. That still pisses me off a little bit. Just because he was open. He was open several times, but it wasn't a Kittle game. It wasn't a scheme plays up for Kittle game, and that's okay. But yeah, that was rough. Injuries, man. Let's talk about injuries. I see this right here. Omenihu looked like he was going to leave due to injury. Yeah, he got hit right in the marbles. Saw him get to the sideline. They were stretching his hip flexor a little bit, so I wasn't sure if it's groin or what. but he came right back in. Tayshaun Gibson limped off, came right back in as well. But I want to talk about this for a second. When Tayshaun Gibson came off the field, I thought for sure they were going to move Jimmy Ward to safety. They didn't. They kept him there. They brought in Tarvarius Moore. So what that tells me, Jimmy Ward's gone after this year. I don't want to focus too much on that. Jimmy Ward has expressed vocally several times throughout his career he doesn't want to play nickel. And you got to do what the team wants. I get that. But I cannot understand not putting, and it was just one series, so maybe they were going to make that transition, but Jimmy Ward ain't coming back. That's over, which sucks. But I want him to be successful wherever he goes, and I hope he gets paid. Yeah, I want him to be that 10-year guy for the 49ers. He's year 9 now. But yeah, that hurt. But whenever I saw that, it just like, ooh, I was just like, that's rough. That's rough. Chris, he says, thoughts on Debo? Quiet, covered well. Man, he was getting double teamed. He had 4 carries for 27 yards. That's incredible. Almost 7 yards a pop. That's great. He had 2 catches on 6 targets. 2 of those were bad passes from Jimmy. I didn't see really a Debo drop in there. I'll go back and watch it, but 2 catches for 24 yards. I thought he made some big plays at big moments. 2 of those were screens that were kind of read by the DN, so Jimmy sold it. I don't know. I don't see it as a Debo bad game. I think we got pretty spoiled with what happened last year whenever it was just Debo. We don't have to do that now. And I'll say this. Let's talk allocation of targets and touches. I think that's a better way to approach this. Aiyuk got 7 targets. Fine. Juwan Jennings got 4. Man, he was clutch. 4 targets, 4 catches, 40 yards. 4 for 4. Hashtag Arby's 4 for 4. Those of you that grew up back in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe, maybe not. They have the meats. Christian McCaffrey, 6 targets in the passing game and 14 carries. How many touches did I say Christian McCaffrey needs? I said 20. How many did he get? He got 20. I freaking love it. I said I wanted him to get 20 and I wanted Elijah Mitchell to get 10. Well, guess how many Elijah Mitchell got? He got 20. Elijah Mitchell got 2 passing targets and 18 rush attempts. Elijah Mitchell was unbelievably efficient and just solid. 18 carries, 89 yards, 4.9 a pop. Oh, Scott says Elijah Mitchell will make you forget all about Wilson and Mostert. And I want to give tip of the hat to them. I love seeing them do well. People are DMing me throughout the day. Man, we never should have traded them. We're stupid. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. If both those guys were for the 49ers today, they wouldn't have got the work that they got. I'm very happy that they are being utilized the way that they should be, and they're working to get paid. Don't be like Gollum and hoard stuff. You got a 5th round pick for Jeff Wilson. You got a comp pick last year for Raheem Mostert. They weren't coming back. And it's not like we're fine at the running back position, guys. We're fine there. I love the allocation. I can't believe Elijah Mitchell got more carries than McCaffrey, but I love it. Melissa, she's a big Juwan Jennings fan. She says she's been saying for a while, Clutch King, Juwan Jennings, 3rd down magic. Yeah. His snap, he might have got 20 snaps, but 4 catches on 4 targets is just, man, 4th quarter, dude showed up. But yeah, you rushed the ball 41 times. Debo got 4. 4 carries, 27 yards. I don't mind that. Jimmy Garoppolo rushed 5 times for 3 yards. The over-under on Jimmy Garoppolo rushing was 0.5 yards. I almost took it. I didn't. He did get the rushing touchdown. Oh, this is important to note. Jimmy Garoppolo had his first ever unsuccessful quarterback sneak with the 49ers. He was 31 for 31, and he got stopped on 3rd and 1. But guess what? Kyle Shanahan went forward on 4th down, which he doesn't always do, and he got it there. So now Jimmy Garoppolo is 32 for 33 in his career on quarterback sneaks, which is freaking incredible. I really, really liked it. I thought the game was just handled very, very well. There are some issues for sure, no doubt about it. But the more and more, once we get the film tomorrow and we start going through that Sunday night game, We might not get it till Tuesday morning. That bothers me, but that's okay. I got you. I'll go through the broadcast view, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more. Jay, he says, we won. On to Mexico. Yes, pluck those red chickens. It's huge, man. Next week is freaking enormous. We didn't think it was going to be huge, but the Cardinals came out. They got a victory, and so they're in third place now. Got to go handle business, and I hope you come out with us. I really, really do. If you're close to Mexico or you know anybody going, please put our information out there, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Help us out. We want to keep the people safe. We want to entertain and create one of the best fan experiences that is possible for the community. That's what this show's about. Increasing fan experience and being positive and building the community. That's what we're about. And today was a huge win. We had to wait 2 weeks for it. Was it all the popcorn and all the stuff that we thought it was? No. But as Mario, I appreciate that. A win is a win. Let's go Niners. This is big. And you beat a good team. The Chargers are injured for sure, but they've won 4 out of 5. I mean, they're not a bad team. Justin Herbert, that dude's top 5 quarterback. And you were able to, man, look at his numbers. Look at this. He threw for 196 yards. He had a 73 passer rating. Austin Eckler, 6 rush attempts, 24 yards. 7 catches, 39 yards. The 49ers dominated almost every facet of this game. It's just the mistakes, right? And that's kind of been a trend this year. And so that's an issue. But I like this. CJ, John, any way to trick Kyle into thinking he's played against McVay every single week? I love that, man. Yeah, he might not be playing against McVay anymore. I don't know if McVay's going to stick around, guys. He's a front runner. And I like McVay. I'm not trying to throw it against him, but he almost retired last year. That future does not look bright. I don't know how they're going to get anything. They don't have draft capital. We'll have to see what happens. So we'll see there. Dan said, I love this. Shout out to our Patreon trivia winner earlier in the week. Jackets in the mail. She says, any chance it's double points weekend on Call of Duty? I don't know. I got to look that up because if it is double points, Kyler Murray is not going to play well. That's just what it is. So special teams was awful. Yeah, I saw that David being brought up. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So, and just let me say this. If you haven't yet, let me just show, I want to put this out there. This is important because, again, once we're finished here, once this broadcast ends, we're going to be live on Patreon, our Zoom Hangout. We got to hear from you. So let me just kind of show you a little bit what Patreon's all about. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast. And as soon as you sign up, you get almost everything, depending on the tier you pick. And if you're just interested in 49ers play, guess what? We have every single offensive, defensive, and special teams play from the last 2.5 years. Every single game for the 49ers. Nobody else has this content. Now, not to mention we have extra episodes weekly. We've got scouting report breakdowns. We've got betting. We've got your one-stop shop for 49ers content. And if you want to be heard, guess what? We got Zoom Hangouts twice a month where we listen to you. Patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast, or just Google Patreon and 49ers. We're the first one that shows up. All right, guys, y'all are the absolute best. I freaking love you guys. Shout out to Clayton, the man behind the scenes, our executive producers of this show, 49ers George 365 and Kilted 49er. Man, it's going to be a fun week breaking down film, and I hope you join us for that. We got our Zoom Hangout taking place in about 5 minutes after this show, but the 49ers win, baby. Walk into work with your chest out high, talk your trash, enjoy your week. Coffee tastes better tomorrow. Absolutely love it. It's been an absolute blast celebrating with you guys. 49ers in the win column, baby. And until next time, it's going to be easy this week. Stay strong, faithful.